In this video, we are going to show you everything that nobody tells you about Porto. These are the truths that only those who have visited and come back several times discover in practice, and that can totally change your experience if you know them before you go. We are going to talk about the real size of the city, hidden costs, safety, local culture, logistics, climate, and tourist traps. Let us go. Porto has become, in recent years, one of the most sought-after European destinations, second only to Lisbon. But it is also a city full of surprises for those who arrive without information. The Instagram photos only show the colorful Ribeira at sunset and the magical Lelo bookstore. But the reality of Porto requires preparation. Those who travel without information may end up slipping on the slippery pavements, finding Lelo impossible to visit without booking, getting caught in a surprise torrential rain, or falling into expensive tourist restaurants in Ribeira. Let us demystify. First truth. The real size and distances. Porto is a compact city with only 41 square kilometers, and the historic center where practically everything touristy is located is easily walkable. But Porto is the Portuguese city with the steepest hills, even more than Lisbon. Walking from Baixa to Ribeira looks easy because it is downhill, but the return uphill is absolutely merciless. The hills like Rua das Escadas do Codasal can have 300 consecutive steps. Use the Guindais funicular or the metro whenever possible to avoid exhaustion. Second truth. Hidden costs. The price tag is never the final price in Porto. The VAT, value-added tax, is 23% on many products and is usually already included in the price. The city tourist tax is €3 per person per night, with a limit of 7 nights. But the biggest trap is the couvert at restaurants, which can include bread, butter, olives, cheese, and even sardine paste on the table when you sit down. In Portugal, nothing is complimentary, and each item is charged separately if you consume. If you do not want it, just tell the waiter at the beginning to take everything away, without any problem. Third truth, the safety question. Porto is generally one of the safest cities in Europe, with very low crime rates. Porto residents are known for their hospitality and human warmth with tourists, and the city is calm to walk in even at night in most areas. But some basic precautions are always worth it, especially with pickpockets who take advantage of tourist crowds in Ribeira, at Mercado do Bolhão, and on the trams. Use a money belt under your clothes for documents and money, and pay attention at crowded metro stations. At night, avoid isolated parks and areas far from the tourist center, especially alone. Fourth truth. The local culture can surprise you. Porto residents are called tripeiros and have huge pride in their city, with a healthy old rivalry with Lisbon. They are generally more reserved than Lisbeta, with a heavy accent that can be difficult to understand even for other Portuguese. But they are extremely hospitable and warm when you approach respectfully. Mealtimes are typical Portuguese, with lunch between noon and 3 in the afternoon and dinner after 8 at night. The tip is not mandatory, but leaving between 5 and 10% is appreciated at good quality restaurants. Fifth truth. Logistics and the Lelo bookstore. Lelo is perhaps the most disputed attraction in Porto, with lines that can exceed 2 hours at any time of the day. The only really practical way to visit it without losing the day is to buy the ticket online in advance for the first morning slot, 8:30. The €8 ticket works as a voucher and gives you a discount if you buy a book. Without booking, you can spend half your day standing in line. Other long lines can happen at the Clarigos Tower and at the most famous Gaia cellars in high season. Sixth truth. The Porto climate. This is perhaps the biggest surprise for many tourists. Porto has Atlantic climate, being much rainier than Lisbon. It can rain at any time of the year, even in summer, and especially between October and May. The rains are usually short but intense, so always bring a small umbrella in your bag. Summer, between June and September, is usually mild with temperatures between 64 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit, much cooler than Lisbon because of the ocean. Winter is humid and gray, with temperatures between 46 and 59 degrees Fahrenheit. The best times are May, June, September, and early October. And where to stay knowing all of this? Our recommendation is Baixa do Porto, the tourist, commercial, and historic heart of the city, with easy metro access and close to everything. We created this custom map that explains exactly which is the best region. Staying in this area, you cannot go wrong. And in the video description and here in the QR code, we will leave the link to the page with this map and with the hotels we have stayed at and recommend highly, including a hotel in Baixa, where we stayed for an incredible price, super well located, far from tourist traps and close to everything that matters. We saved a lot of money with that choice. Seventh truth. Food and tourist traps. The restaurants directly on Ribeira, by the Douro River, are very touristy and expensive, with menus in 20 languages and staff attracting people from the street. Never eat at these places. It is always a trap with dubious quality and mediocre francesinhas. Walk 2 blocks to the sides or up a few hills to find authentic tascas, frequented by Porto residents. Another trap are the francesinhas at any tourist cafe in Baixa. Always prefer the classics like Café Santiago, Capa Negra, or Bufete Fas. And be careful with port wines sold at any shop. Always buy directly at the Gaia sellers to ensure quality and better prices. Speaking of having good information to get around well, in the video description and here in the QR code, we will leave the link to the site we always use to buy tickets and tours for the lowest price. It is the largest tours website in the world and has practically everything there. Everything at the lowest price, and you can buy in any currency, saving on fees. And they have free tours that are great, including guided walking tours through Baixa and Ribera. And remember that in this link below, we always organize everything you need to plan your entire trip at the lowest price. The sites we use to put together our trips with everything much cheaper: travel SIM card, travel insurance for half the price, tickets to all the attractions, good and cheap hotels we have stayed at, cheap car rentals, and the global account. And the links already include automatic discounts. So save and use this page that will make your trip much easier. Eighth truth that nobody tells you: Porto is not a smaller version of Lisbon. It is a completely different city in soul and rhythm. While Lisbon is more touristy, international, busy, and dynamic, Porto is more authentic, traditional, intimate, and slow. Porto residents like to say that Lisbon shows itself and Porto reveals itself. Do not come expecting the same vibe or the same tourist structure. Here things are smaller, more artisanal, more personal, and every corner looks like a postcard without being manufactured for tourists. Embrace this difference. It is exactly what makes Porto so special and fascinating for those who love authentic travel and more human rhythms. One more important thing about Porto that many people do not realize: the city is the perfect gateway to know the impressive Douro Valley, considered one of the most beautiful wine regions in the world and UNESCO heritage. Day excursions leave Porto in the morning, with visits to 2 historic quintas, typical lunch, wine tasting, and cruise on the Douro River, costing between 70 and 120 euros per person. It is absolutely worth the day and complements your Porto trip perfectly. And for those who are new here on the channel, you are very welcome. Our mission is to help you travel more and better around the world. If you are enjoying it, subscribe here on the channel and like the video. That helps us a lot. To finish, 4 final tips for mental preparation for Porto. First, wear very comfortable shoes with anti-slip sole, because the Porto hills are merciless and the Portuguese pavement becomes dangerous after rain. Second, always book in advance the Lelo bookstore, the Clérigos Tower, and the port wine cellars in Gaia, especially in high season. Third, always bring a small umbrella in your bag. The Porto weather changes quickly. Fourth, enjoy Porto slowly. It is a city to wander through the alleys, sit at the outdoor cafes with a port wine, and let life happen at the slow pace that makes this city one of the most special destinations in Europe. If you liked the video, like it and subscribe to our channel to travel more and better around the world. Thank you very much and have a great trip.